there's women listening to me right now, happy Mother's Day. Especially if you're a good mother. Not a lazy mother, irresponsible mother, but if you're a quality mother, you've raised good children like my mother did with me and my brother, then I salute you. Happy Mother's Day. Now that said, the unfortunate irony of me choosing the topic that I'm going to talk about is that this is probably the most undesirable thing anybody would want to listen to, particularly a woman, on Mother's Day. And that's the topic to do with abortion. Which has had people in this country divided for decades, particularly since the 1974 decision of Roe versus Wade. But before I get to that, hold on one second. I love this stuff. Rise. That's my equivalent to orange juice. But unlike orange juice, it has no sugar in it. Oh, now you know I'm incorrigible. You know I got to touch on something for at least 2 to 3 minutes before I get started with my topic. Obviously, from yesterday's video, I got some public feedback, pretty much all of it good. I got some private feedback, which was mixed. One particular guy wrote me email, and he said, Alan, for starters, everybody's been sending me these, the quote by, I think his name starts with a C. Starts with a C. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, Charles Caleb Colton. Charles Caleb Colton is the one who coined the quote, imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. I've had a number of people when it comes to this whole issue about copycats that I covered yet again yesterday on Saturday. It's basically people been saying, Alan, you should be flattered. But anyway, just one real quick thing. I'm not going to get into a long thing about this, but one quick feedback I got from a guy. He said, Alan, he started by saying, I understand your frustration. I understand when you come up with some original talking points and you see people just immediately repeat and regurgitate those talking points without giving you your due props, your due credit. Again, what's formerly known as proper credit attribution. He said, I get that. He said, I think in the long run, and I think you know this, Alan, that it's going to hurt them more than it's ever going to hurt you. He said, because imagine if somebody copies your talking points, some of your slogans, some of your terminology, and somebody who is, unsuspecting, naive, ignorant, doesn't know that you were the one who came up with those things. Say there's a bunch of people who's following some guy, let's call him Joe Johnson. They're going to follow him, but then they're going to come across, somebody's going to put in their ear about your books. And then once they find out that you are indeed the ultimate originator, they're going to crash. That guy's popularity is just literally going to crash. And if you remember, I talked about this with, that's what happened to Maurice Kane Carter. If you remember my story about Maurice Kane Carter, that's exactly what happened with Maurice Kane Carter. There was this guy, again, I don't want to necessarily do the whole story, but there was a young brother named Maurice Kane Carter who kind of came out of nowhere and his popularity just skyrocketed. I want to say it was around 2012, 2013. His popularity just skyrocketed. until people found out that he was basically ripping off the late, great comedian Patrice O'Neal. Then as quickly as his fame and notoriety rose, once everybody found out that he basically was just biting Patrice O'Neal shit, his shit went. And yeah, that's what happened. So that's what this guy was saying what's going to happen with guys who copy off of me, man, as soon as people find out. So, and then one other quick thing he said, and this reminds me of something a buddy of mine in London, of all places, wrote me about 5 or 6 years ago. He said, Alan, here's the thing with you. Because this particular guy had come out with a book himself, an ebook about basically direct game on Tinder. And he said, Alan, you've pretty much cornered the market on direct verbal game. He said, I'm going to just give you that. You've pretty much cornered the market in the sense that you broke it down so well in such specific terms, like almost like a science. You break it down. You don't just talk about direct verbal game, but you literally break it down in really specific pieces and specific detail to the point that ain't really, you've really left nothing for anybody else to cover. And remember again, that guy, Matt Mitchell, that's why he said Ball 1 was the blueprint for essentially for direct verbal game. That's what this guy said about 5 or 6 years ago, this guy from London. He said, you've not only just talked about it, he said, there's a few other guys who talked, but he said, you broke it down in such lengthy and specific detail that he said, you've really left nothing for anybody else to cover. He said, so essentially, if anybody comes out with a book after you that has to do with direct verbal game, they're going to automatically look like they're copying you. Even if they weren't, that wasn't their specific intention was to copy you, they're going to look like they're copying you because you've covered almost literally every aspect of direct verbal game. Anything to do with direct verbal game, you've covered literally every aspect of that. To the point where if anybody else comes out with an ebook, paperback, hardcover, audiobook, they're going to look like they're copying off. People are going to immediately say, that guy's copying off Alan. He's just basically a mo. That did happen to at least one guy. I've mentioned this, I think, once before. There was a guy interviewed on Blog Talk Radio. He was a mixed martial artist from Canada. I can't remember his real name. He went by, his nickname was the Direct Playboy. The Direct Playboy. And I even interviewed him on Blog Talk Radio. I can't remember the year. But, we had a good conversation. Now, honestly, when I read his ebook, I realized it was basically just like Mo 1. But I didn't go in on him because he was so respectful to me. Like, he gives me a very flattering shout out at the beginning of his ebook as being an inspiration and influence to him. But PUA Hate, which I mentioned a few videos ago, this message board that a lot of people might not be familiar with, it used to be a real popular message board, PUA Hate. Any book that came out in the manosphere, they would review it. Any book, that ebook, paperback, hardcover, or to a certain extent, audiobook. Audiobooks weren't really that popular back then. That came out. The guys on PUA Hate would give, their review, analysis of it, critique of it. And I remember when this dude's book, man, oh man, I almost felt bad. That's actually one time, if no other time, I actually felt bad for a quote unquote copycat. Man, they blitzed his book so bad. I mean, pretty much everybody on PUA Hate was like, why the fuck did this dude, they literally called him a nigger because he was black. He was a black mixed martial artist from Canada. They was like, why did this nigger just write this book that's essentially just a duplicate of Mo 1? Why the fuck would this nigger do that? Who the fuck does he expect to buy this book when they can read just a much better version of everything he said when they buy Alan Roger Currie's book, Mo 1? This shit is just literally a duplicate of Mo 1. I mean, everybody was saying that. I mean, I don't think he got one compliment on PUA Hate. Everybody was just like, this shit's a duplicate of Mo 1. You might as well just buy Alan Roger Currie's book. And I felt bad for him because, again, I had interviewed him on my show. But yeah, sure enough, less than 2 years after he came out with that ebook, he had this nice website and shit. He had a smooth website with this video, of him, kind of talking to a couple of women. Man, less than 2 years after he came out, man, you didn't hear from him. His website was gone. You didn't hear about his ebook no more. Because again, everybody compared him to me. And again, the reason I didn't kind of harshly criticize him because at the beginning of his ebook, he was giving acknowledgments and shout outs. And he basically said, Alan Roger Currie is probably my biggest influence and inspiration for writing this book. But yeah, it wasn't really nothing. Anyway, yeah. So this guy who wrote me yesterday, that's what he was saying. Like the guy who wrote me from London a few years ago, he said, Alan, he said, now indirect game, he said, there's so many different directions you could go with that. There could probably be 100 books written on indirect game. But he said, when it comes to direct verbal game, you've covered pretty much every single aspect of that in such specific detail that if anybody tries to repeat anything to do a direct verbal game, people are going to say, oh, that dude copying off of Alan. That dude copying off of Alan. So anyway, his bottom line was, he said, Alan, I know you don't like people telling you what to do, but I'll tell you, man, just kind of let it go, man. Because them people, they're going to pay the consequences for copying your terminology, your talking points, your signature phrases, whatever else. They're going to pay for it in the long run. Now back to the topic at hand. I did a popular episode of Blog Talk Radio. I think it was 2013, 2014, about raw dog sex. And I admitted that, matter of fact, one of the compliments I've gotten from women on my book, Who Said Again, because a lot of people, of course, have branded me as a guy who just endorses random casual sex with as many women as you can have. Random casual sex. I'm associated with casual sex. Everything, ever since I came out with my books, I've pretty much been associated with or painted as a guy who enthusiastically endorses the pursuit of short-term, non-monogamous casual sex, which isn't 100% true. Like, you take Mo 1. A lot of people think Mo 1 is a book specifically about the pursuit of short-term, non-monogamous casual sex. But it's really not. Mo 1 is about being upfront, specific, and straightforwardly honest about any type of sexual companionship you want with a woman. Any type of sexual companionship. In other words, whether it's long-term, short-term, monogamous, or non-monogamous. Mo 1 is about being upfront about any type of genre. It could be long-term monogamous, long-term non-monogamous, short-term monogamous, or short-term non-monogamous. So that's not true that Mo 1 is... Now, I will say this. My other ebook called Mo 1 Hardcore. Mo 1 Hardcore. Now, that book that's specifically about the pursuit of short-term, non-monogamous casual sex. But my original Mo 1 book is about being upfront, specific, and straightforward about whatever your interests are. So I want to make that clear. And I'm actually pointing that out when that woman, the sister Irene Yvette, interviewed me on her channel. That's one thing I pointed out, and actually she pointed out to her listeners and viewers, which I appreciated on her part. Yeah, one of the compliments I got from some women who read Who Said Again or listened to the audiobook, I do get a lot of feedback from women on that particular audiobook. Matter of fact, that's my most popular audiobook among women is Who Said Again. But a lot of women have said, Alan, you spend a lot of time in that book talking about talking dirty to women and getting women's pussies wet and basically fucking women. But one thing I give you props for, you highly emphasize safe sex practices in that book, which I do. There's probably at least 3 to 5 instances in that book where I emphasize safe sex practices. And one of the reasons why is because now, you guys have seen me get emotional before, mainly emotion as in anger. But I only get emotional if I talk about some of this stuff because it's very, you can say I'm opening up to you. I did this once on one of my Patreon live streams. Bottom line, see, I had an ex-girlfriend. Because I've heard people on live streams, they say, One thing I give Alan Roger Currie credit, man, for as many women he's fucked over the years, he's fucked hundreds of women, but he ain't got a bunch of, babies out of wedlock here and there. He ain't got, he ain't no baby daddy to anybody. Well, the truth of the matter is I could have been at least once. I could have been a woman's baby daddy. My college sweetheart, I got her pregnant. And again, I don't know if I've admitted that on one of my general YouTube videos, but I admitted that on a Patreon live stream. Yeah, I got my college sweetheart pregnant. And I felt bad because, I joked about this on a guy's live stream about how women might say when you fucking them, please wear a condom, please wear a condom. You be like, please, baby, please, let me just put it in for like 5 minutes, just 10 minutes. And then I swear I'll pull out before I come. I swear I'll pull out before I come. And I was joking about it, but being more real, the night I got her pregnant, because me and her both knew the night I got her pregnant. Like, it wasn't like I had to remember what night. I knew the exact night I got her pregnant. It was literally around Valentine's Day. And she had specifically asked me to put on a condom because up to that point, I kept doing what's known as the, pull-out method, withdrawal method, which was the main method before condoms came around. Guys used to practice the withdrawal method. And she wasn't on the pill. She wasn't on the pill. Later on, she got on the pill, but she wasn't on the pill. And so she asked me, I remember that night, she asked me, she said, please, baby, please wear a condom. You're not that disciplined on pulling out. We've already had a couple of close calls. I was just like, baby, just let me for like at least 10 minutes. Because that's what I admitted on this Blog Talk Radio episode. I admitted that I like raw dog sex. Even though I'm all about encouraging guys to practice safe sex, I admit there's no comparison to me between raw dog sex and sex with a condom on. And so I had sex with her without a condom. Didn't have the discipline to pull out. She got pregnant.